This is Groove Talk with Froggy Style.
So did you just want to introduce yourself again, just for the recording?
Yeah, sure. So it's actually going to be Geoff doing the interview. I'm the lead guitar player.
Okay, awesome.
So that's me.
Cool. So you guys are about to kind of set off on a big cross Canada tour here.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of wondering how long does it take to plan something like this?
Well, we've pretty much been planning it for the last, I'd say, 6 or 7 months, starting from booking. Sebastian has been doing most of the booking. I mean, we basically suss out some venues in each city and make some phone calls, send some emails, and but most places have been pretty responsive. I mean, they're pretty much like, yeah, sure, as long as we're months in advance, and they give us the date. And some places provide bands for us, other places we have to find bands, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. This isn't your first tour, though, right? It's
with this lineup, it's our second tour. So we did a tour of kind of Western Canada last year. We did BC and Alberta.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe, like, what kind of things did you learn from your last tour that you are now, like, taking and applying to this tour?
One of the main things was taking charge of your own tour and booking it yourself. The tour we went on last year, we did half our dates with one band on their tour, and then we booked the rest of the dates ourselves. And we literally made like 50 times as much on the shows that we booked ourselves than we did with the other band, and I'm not even exaggerating, like 50 times as much money.
Oh, wow.
So that was one thing we definitely took, is we were definitely better at booking our own gigs and setting up our own thing. So, yeah, I guess it was kind of, if you want something done, do it yourself, was kind of the lesson we learned.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So is there like any place in particular, or a few places that you're like really looking forward to stopping in at?
Well, I mean, obviously the East Coast, or not the East Coast, but Eastern Canada. I mean, Toronto, we're playing the Bovine Sex Club, which is a pretty well-known venue, so we're pretty excited about that. We had a little help getting that show from Tommy Mack of Hedley. We've been consulting with him. He's been kind of mentoring us a little bit since we met him, and he hooked us up with that gig, so that was pretty huge.
Cool.
And we're really stoked to play in Montreal as well. I mean, I've never been to Montreal. I don't think Shane's been to Montreal either. I don't know if any of the guys really have, other than our bass player. I guess our drummer went there for Amnesia Fest just this past summer. But we're all really looking forward to that one too.
So I'm wondering if you could maybe, in your own words, kind of describe your guys' sound a little bit.
Well, I mean, whenever people ask me, I mean, I pretty much say that we're kind of a mix of Alice in Chains meets Pantera, with a little bit of modern metal kind of rolled into the mix, Kill Switch, etc., that kind of stuff. It's kind of so melodic, aggressive, but with a good melodic side.
Do you feel that maybe being a little bit on the more melodic side kind of helps you appeal to maybe a wider audience?
Yeah, definitely. It keeps us kind of not just fixed in the whole metalhead thing, and it allows people who maybe aren't into such aggressive music to be able to enjoy and kind of grasp onto what we're doing.
So your latest EP, it was produced by Daren Grahn, correct?
Yes, Daren Grahn, yeah.
Okay. So what was it like working with him?
In the studio, Darren's great. He was great to work with. Really easy, really receptive to all of our ideas. He didn't try to impose his own kind of creative ideas too much. He kind of just did mostly what we wanted as far as the music. He definitely helped with some creative ideas, and with arrangement stuff. He put forth some ideas, but he was really pretty easy to work with.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And did like he approach you, or did you guys approach him, or how did that happen?
Yeah, he approached us. I can't remember which show it was he saw us at. Maybe Shane, do you remember?
Studio.
We were playing a show at Studio Records in downtown Vancouver.
Okay.
And he approached us and said that he specifically really liked Shane's voice a lot, and was into doing some production for us. So that's kind of how that got started, and we cut a deal, and away we went.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Was it a little bit, I guess, like maybe nerve-wracking, kind of working with Daren?
No, it was pretty chill.
Yeah,
we all went in, we knew what we wanted to do, and we were pretty confident with the songs we had written, so we just went for it. We had fun with it.
What's maybe one thing that you learned from previous releases that you kind of took and you maybe applied to this EP?
Definitely go big or go home. The production quality, the production value we got out of it. I mean, the old recordings, you can really hear the difference between HFR and this EP. Like this EP sounds like, you sit it next to a Disturbed album or something like that, and it's got it all. And the production quality, the volume is right there, whereas, you can hear some shortcomings in some of the older recordings. So, I mean, I guess the one thing you take with the biggest lesson is spend the money because you get what you pay for.
Okay, cool. And I guess that's like obvious in the case with you guys because you're one of the singles off that EP, Systematic, has been receiving a lot of attention and it's won some awards, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so like what's that like, getting recognized now, I guess, for some music that you have produced and made?
It's a pretty good feeling, It's just pretty exciting, and especially with looking at we've got it playing through a guy who runs a YouTube channel called Space Untravel, and it's got like 25,000 views. So it's pretty cool to know that people are liking the music and listening to it, and it's humbling, to know that and be able to enjoy that.
So have you guys received a lot of support from like the local Vancouver scene?
Yeah, it's been picking up pretty good. Like we did our EP release party back in March when we released the EP. We did a digital release of just 4 tracks, and then we finished up 2 more in the studio, which we're adding to it now. We're going to be releasing a video next week for one of the songs called Dark Side. And we had it was a really great show for that EP release. We had a lot of local people out, a lot of big support. So it's really nice, to see people coming together and being on our side that way.
So you said you were releasing a music video here relatively soon.
Yeah.
So I guess how important do you feel music videos are in kind of today's society, I guess, or culture?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely huge. We've all heard the song "Video Killed the Radio Star," and I mean, it's been kind of ever since, that. It's funny because that was the first music video that MTV ever played, and I mean, it's just kind of rings true. That's the direction it's been going for a long time, and we kind of felt like we had to get a video out there, and get a good visual representation of the lyrics into people's minds,
Yeah, definitely. So is this kind of like the video, is it more like your guys' creative vision? Are you working with a director, or how's that coming together?
We basically took the helm on the creative process for the video. It was more or less, we just brought a cameraman and an editor in, and he took the shots that we wanted to get, and we were step by step in the editing process as well. So I'd say we definitely had a pretty big hand in the creation of it.
Awesome. So I was wondering if you could maybe kind of take us through what a live show would be like for you guys.
I mean, we usually start off with a lot of energy. We come right out there. We usually blast 2 or 3 songs right off the hilt to get everybody, really feeling it and pumped before we kind of address the crowd and start, chatting with them a little bit and kind of talk about, get them engaged. Are you having a good time? Talk about where else we've been on tour and that kind of stuff. And then we'll continue on with the set. Sometimes through the middle, we'll go into some of the EP tracks. Some of them, you take the tempo down a bit, and then we usually finish pretty strong with high tempo, lots of energy.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, in your opinion, what makes kind of the metal scene, or what makes it different from other scenes, I guess?
The metal scene?
Yeah.
Metal people are pretty dedicated to the music they love. So I mean, they're always really receptive to the heavier end of our sets. You can really tell who the metalheads are throughout the set as we play, because they're right at the front, headbanging their faces off, and they're always great for that. So. Cool. And they all, they're usually more engaging. They're more likely to come up and talk to you and talk about the music and that kind of stuff. So
how do you guys write songs? I guess, like, how do they come together? Is it? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it's all good. I mean, sometimes Shane will come, walk into the jam space and immediately beeline straight for his guitar and be like, "I've got an idea. I've got a cool idea. I got a riff." Or he'll have something recorded in his phone, and he'll have an idea, and then we'll kind of work on it. And maybe another one of us will come up with a second riff, and we'll just kind of write it. Sometimes we're just jamming in the room, and somebody plays something cool, and we feed off it. And before you know it, we've got an entire song completely arranged and ready to go. And Shane's basically ready to write lyrics for it.
Awesome.
So yeah, I mean, it just kind of depends.
Do you guys still get nervous when you go up on stage?
I mean, for me personally, you always get that kind of little nervous excitement when you walk up on stage in front of a crowd, but I mean, you feed off it, it's a good energy. It's positive, and you just let it roll. You let it flow, and you really, I find myself really feed off the energy of the crowd. The rowdier they are, the rowdier I'm going to be. I mean, that just goes without saying, kind of.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like most of us are the same way.
Okay. So how did you guys kind of all come together then?
I've been playing with Shane for just over 5 years now. We played with a different lineup before, and it started to get, we started to get to the point where it started to get serious, and we had our rhythm section decide to leave us, which was disappointing. And after that, Shane and I kind of took a hiatus for about a year, and then Shane met Sebastian, who's now our other guitar player, and we came across Trey, who's the bass player, and we kind of started jamming again, and then we brought our old drummer decided to come back, and then we made him promise that he wasn't going to quit, and guess what he did? He quit. Bastard. But luckily for us, right in the process, we were just going to play one last show with this old drummer, and we played with, it was actually a great gig. We played, we opened for Prong at Venue in Vancouver, and that was the drummer's last show, and we had this young kid, 19 at the time, Josh, just kind of plop into our laps, and we feel like it was kind of the music gods being like, well, this guy screwed you over twice, so here's this kid. I'm just going to hand him to you. And so Geoff came along, and he's phenomenal. The kid's 20 years old and plays drums like a maniac. It's unreal.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we got lucky there for sure. And, yeah, here we are.
Do you kind of find that like, say your influences musically, like the bands influence you, do you find that bleeding into your music at all?
Oh yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, for instance, I was playing the songs to my sister last night, and she literally picked the 3 bands that I just said to you. She's like, "You really sound like Lane Staley with some Phil Anselmo." I'm like, "Yeah, pretty much."
Have you guys received a lot of like support from your family?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Support from all our families too, right across the board, which is really great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To get out to shows, or?
Yeah. My parents have made it out to a couple of shows. Shane's parents have been here. No, yours haven't been here yet. You haven't seen it. Yeah. Well, your mom. For show. Oh, okay. Yeah. The guitar player Sebastian's mom has made it out. His parents live in Switzerland, so we're not really expecting them to be at any shows until we actually get over across the pond.
Yeah. Yeah. I would imagine. I guess.
Yeah. But
cool.
Yeah, mine come out, and Shane's come out. They've come out down here, and they've come out up in the Okanagan too. Shane's parents live up in the Okanagan. Josh's parents come out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I guess what's one piece of advice that you would give to somebody who is just starting out in the music scene?
Keep at it. It's a long, hard road, and it's a lot of hard work. And if you really want it, you can't give up.
Cool.
And you stick by it. And you got to do the work. You can't just pick up a guitar and be world famous. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah. And what's maybe one thing that you really kind of learned about yourself, I guess, through performing and playing music?
Patience. To be patient with others and receptive to other people's, like I've learned to be more receptive to other people's ideas and me personally anyways.
Cool.
Yeah, and to just take the time to make things, when you're in the creative process, take time to do things right,
Yeah. What's kind of the craziest show that you guys have ever played?
The craziest show we've ever played. What do you guys think? Yeah?
Well, I mean, it'd be between one of the support spots we had, so either Lordy or
Yeah.
even our EP release party.
Yeah, that was a pretty rowdy show. Yeah. I mean, I'd probably have to go with Seb there and say that our EP release was a rowdy show, really high energy, totally packed club. So dark and dingy and packed and loud, and I think it was just really rowdy show, and it was awesome, great energy. So I'd agree with him on that one, probably that one.
Cool.
Yeah.
I guess, is there just any kind of final things that you wanted to mention before we close this up here?
Tell Calgary that we're coming. Get ready.
He says, "Tell Calgary that we're coming. Get ready."
Awesome. I will definitely spread the word.
Fantastic.
Awesome. It was really awesome talking to you, and thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
Oh, you as well. Much appreciated. Hey, thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks.
As well. We'll see you in a couple weeks.